प्रोफेसर DN मौर्या की शिपिंग पाठशाला में आपका एक बार फिर स्वागत है। वेलकम टू प्रोफेसर DN मौर्या शिपिंग पाठशाला। टुडे आई शैल टॉक ऑन वन ऑफ द busiest shipping route that is known as Strait of Malacca route. The meaning of strait means natural waterway connecting two oceans or two seas. In general terms, you can say this provides a shortcut to the ships entering from one sea going into other ship, thus saving lot of time and lot of cost to the ship owner. Strait of Malacca is about 500 miles long and 40 to 155 miles wide. The width of the strait varies from place to place as it is having a length of 500 miles. It is located between Indonesia on one side, that is the southern side, and Malaysia on the north side. Indonesia, it has got three islands, that is Sumatra, Java and Borneo. So this is the Sumatra part of the Indonesia, which is just below or you can see the Strait of Malacca is just north of Sumatra. So between Indonesia and Malaysia, this particular strait lies. This connects South China Sea and which is already in the Pacific Ocean. So you can say this connects the South China Sea with the Andaman Sea. Andaman Sea is part of Indian Ocean. So when you say South China Sea means this also includes the complete Pacific Ocean, that is having the East China Sea, then Japan Sea, or the sea where the ports in South Korea are located, Japan and South Korea located. So from that side ship coming, they take this route and enter into the Indian Ocean. And Indian Ocean, they can serve the Indian subcontinents, also Persian Gulf, and they can also go to the Mediterranean Sea and service the European ports at particular place. We'll see a close look, we'll have a close look at the Strait of Malacca and then we'll come in details. You can see the physical location of Strait of Malacca on this globe. This is the Indonesia having three islands, Sumatra, Java and Borneo. This side is Malaysia, end of Malaysia, small country Singapore. And Strait of Malacca lies here, that is between Malaysia and Singapore, Malaysia and Indonesia, and passing via Singapore to going to the South China Sea. From South China Sea, this connects to the Pacific Ocean. This side, ship coming from Strait of Malacca, they join the Andaman Sea, which is part of Indian Ocean. They can go from here to the east coast of Indian ports, or also can go to Bangladesh and Myanmar, other places. This side ship can go touch the port of Colombo. From here they can go to the ports at west coast of India. Also from here they can go to the Persian Gulf and also to the Red Sea and then into the Mediterranean Sea and finally going to the European ports. So that is the importance of the Strait of Malacca, very strategic location which is located just between Indonesia and Malaysia and connect the South China Sea with the Indian Ocean. Okay, so Strait of Malacca is a very important shipping route. About 25% of the world trade passes through this route. When we talk about the world trade, this is including the oil, including the crude oil, which is also passing through this route. And the number of ships passing through this route every year is close to 90,000, 90,000 vessels per year they pass through this route. The draft at the lowest point, that is near to Singapore, is 25 meters. That is the limitation of this particular strait. So ships having more than 25-meter draft, that is mostly the large crude carrier, VLCC and ULCC, they have to take a diversion and use the other route, we call it Strait of Lombok, that is between Bali and Indonesia. Other ships which are having a maximum draft of 25 meters, they can make use of Strait of Malacca. Now you can see the strategic location of this particular strait, Strait of Malacca. that is for the Singapore. Singapore is just located at the end of this particular, you can see here this map at this point. So what happens, ships coming from this side, Korea, Japan, other places, China, enter into Strait of Malacca and then they come out from here. Then they can go to the Indian subcontinent, to the Sri Lankan port, to the Persian Gulf and even to the Mediterranean Sea, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea. Out from here, even from the Strait of Gibraltar, they can go out to the port of UK. So very, very important. So that is why the port of Singapore has become very, very important port. Important port means from the point of view of handling the throughput. It handles roughly 37 million TEUs, 37 number of 20 feet containers, that is the equivalent size in 20 feet, we call it TEUs. 37 million TEUs was handled at the port of Singapore. And most of this being a transshipment. Transshipment means the containers are not, the cargo in the containers, they are not to be used at Singapore. Singapore, very small country, this cannot consume so much of cargo. So basically they are the transshipment containers. It means mainline vessel coming and passing via Strait of Malacca, they offload the TP container at Singapore, and from Singapore the feeder vessel pick it up and connect it to the feeder port. So that is the significance of the Strait of Malacca for port of Singapore, apart from its significance to the world shipping trade. The GDP of the Singapore, roughly 7% comes from the port of Singapore. Port of Singapore contribution to the GDP of the government of Singapore is 7%, which is very, very high. So this is the Strait of Malacca we discussed today. Very, very small topic. With this, I finish it. I request to those who have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe it so that you can see my upcoming videos on other shipping routes which I will be putting during this week.